A decision by Hong Kong's High Court ordered the forced sale of the embattled mainland Chinese real estate developer Evergrande. In June of 2023, Evergrande filed for bankruptcy with debt of US $333 billion. $25 billion is owed to people outside China. The Chinese market has been in meltdown conditions for quite a while now. To stop the bleeding in their stock market, China has halted and restricted shares lending amid market turbulence. What this basically means is people are being forced not to go short. Non-Chinese investors sold more than $23.4 billion worth of onshore Chinese stocks between July and November last year. We can see that the Chinese market down here in red has been coming down for a long time, since literally the start of 2023, and when we look at all the other global markets, they've been going up quite substantially. Masterclass students, you can access this chart from LV19. So far, the main markets in the US are performing very, very well. S&P 500 futures at an all-time high, the Nasdaq, the Dow, and the Russell's just a little bit weaker, but all very strong and very positive. US time on January the 30th, the FOMC will meet to make its interest rate decision. Typically, we get a bit of pre-volatility heading into the interest rate decision, and then volatility to the downside post that decision. It doesn't always hold, but it holds more often than it doesn't. Currently, there's a 0 probability of a hike and a 97.9% probability that the interest rates will stay the same. Across 2024, there's a probability of 6 rate cuts. Provided that the US economy doesn't go into recession, rate cuts would signify the US 10-year, the US 2-year, and the DXY will all decrease in value. Right now, we're seeing the US 10-year yield just literally plummet down. The US 2-year yield is also coming down, but it's got more resilience because it has stronger underpinning structure. When we look at Bitcoin monthly returns, we've started January fairly low and we're nearly at the end. From the statistics, we would expect the next month, February, to have a reasonable amount of positive momentum and a potential pullback in March. Just note, March of 11th, when it comes to the Bank Term Funding Program, the BTFP, that will cease on that date. That could cause a lot of instability inside the banking industry, so that's something that we need to watch out for. Over the past couple of months, Bitcoin has been performing really, really well. What are the important levels of structural support and structural resistance for Bitcoin right now? The most powerful way to identify statistically significant areas of structural support and structural resistance is by marking up your charts with the CTKS method. Here I've just popped on the indicator so you can shortcut and see where the major structural levels are. You can see this structural support level at 41,788 served as a very important level of structural control inside the market. As we bypass this 42,872, we've come up into the next cluster of structural resistance levels, starting at 43,635. But the big one to watch is this 44,000 mark. That is a really important structural level. Generally what occurs, you'll find price waving up and just flatlining around these particular structural resistance levels, or mean reverting if it pushes through it. Something to bear in mind. We know as professionals we must look at total crypto market cap to be able to understand where the structural resistance applies across the entire crypto market. And when we look at that, it's $1.642 trillion. We can see that these structural, statistically significant structural support and structural resistance levels have been holding incredibly well. And we've found that time and time again. If you've been investing in MicroStrategy, you would have seen the MicroStrategy structural support levels kick in and rebound price. The MicroStrategy indicator was released as a this month only special indicator because a lot of people are interested in MicroStrategy. You can see all of this incredible support from 440 up through to 454. As price was coming down and down and down, we expected this to activate and rebound price. It has done so. Some good news, MicroStrategy will make its way into the service next month. North Korea has been in the news for firing several cruise missiles in a third test in less than a week. US intelligence agencies believe that the North Korean leader is going to try to invade South Korea. Therefore, we would watch gold as a geopolitical measure of tension. As the news was released into the market, we saw gold take a leg down, but has since recovered. Let's look at the support and resistance levels from a structural perspective. Gold is currently trading at 2035. We can see there's a structural support level at 2024 and a structural resistance at 2039. Gold is very geopolitically sensitive, and this very strong resistance at 2053 is somewhere you would want to watch and need to watch. At the moment, gold traders aren't taking too much stock in the North Korean dictator's actions. As well as that, we can also say that gold is very geopolitically sensitive to Evergrande, and we're not seeing any upticks in gold at the current time. One thing to be very aware of, if Bitcoin gets through this $44,000 level, there are a lot of shorts hanging around there, and there's a bit of a fresh air gap up to 45,400. So if we get a liquidation, we would expect to tap at least that 45,400 mark. That's if the bulls maintain control. If the bears maintain control, they'll seek to drive it down to test this 41,500 mark. Recently, we've seen a lot of negative price action in Bitcoin. These are live trades from my particular account, and you can notice these little green arrows, they're buys, the little red ones, they're sells. What we can see is price is always moving in a wave, and accumulating in can be a really good idea. And you can see recently there were a lot of sells on Bitcoin because we're always riding price waves, and we don't tend to come in when the price is going up. We tend to actually average out when the price is coming up and then re-enter the trade as the price is coming down. And you will find that is an incredibly profitable thing to do. Always remember, price is always moving in waves, and you can do incredibly well by selling at spot. So just keep this one in mind. It really doesn't matter what the markets do if you have your Borsog strategy, which is literally the CTKS method strategy. Buy on red, sell on green for a eye-watering annualized return on investment. Markets are always full of bad news, and when we have a look at Doge, we can see you can buy and sell on Doge just continuously all the time, and you can dollar cost average in or Borsog, buy on red and sell on green. It's an ultimate way to make money inside any financial market, and it doesn't matter if the price is going up, down or sideways, we can make money. What you will find over time, and this is just some Litecoin trades, you can see the buys here. The buys occur as price is coming down. The sells occur as price is going up. Buy on red, sell on green. And we're always inside the market. The market has a lot of bad news. It has good news as well. But if you find that the bad news pushes you outside the market, perhaps rethink how you're reacting to the market. The markets in 2024 are going to be very turbulent. They're going to go up, they're going to go sideways, and they're going to go down. Your secret weapon in market volatility is to know the structural levels of support and resistance across the Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3 charts. It's vitally important to know. If you don't know, you're just guessing. And if you're guessing, the market will take your money mercilessly. Have a great day or night ahead, my friends, and Kate and I look forward to catching up with you again in the next video. Bye for now.